It's my first full day in Taiping and it's an absolute scorcher out there. Now, I need to get some breakfast before I go back onto the Taiping Heritage Trail, and it's just everywhere. It's just fried food and curries and noodles and rice, and I found a couple of bakeries, but apparently bakery doesn't mean what it means back in England, because there were no bread or anything like that. But there is a mall here and I'm sure I can find something fresh. Right, we have fruit. Bloody hell, fruit. I'm going to do that thing again where I come into a supermarket and decide to be healthy and buy loads of things that I then leave to rot. I've got a lovely pear so far and some lovely grapes, but what I need is some kind of ready-made sandwich or something like that. No food in there at all, no bakery or anything like that. So I'm still looking for food, and I want to get on this bloody trail before it starts pissing it down. I'm here in the famous hawker market in Taiping. Food's really cheap in here. You're talking like 5 ringgit for a decent sized meal. I've just gone for 5 satay. They're probably only small, but yeah, I'll see what it's like. I'm starving now. Believe it or not, it's my first satay in Malaysia. Should have got 10. Delicious, mate, thank you. Take care, man. The satay has filled the hole. Can you tell with a smile on my face? And now I'm going to get out my litre of pure 100% orange juice and have a good old glug on that. Sit down, have a pear and some grapes. Bloody hell. The first stop on today's Heritage Trail is the Masjid Melayu, which is the oldest mosque in Taiping. We have a cemetery just to the right. Wow. Just a few meters down the road from the oldest mosque in Taiping is this Hindi temple, and this was built in 1879. It just shows just how long Taiping has been a multicultural city. Approximately 150 years ago. Hindi temples next door to mosques. The trail I'm on now, quite a few of the sites are all on this road. But it is going to take us out of the city at some point. We'll see how much we get done. Taiping tends to be very hot during the day, and then round about 4 or 5 p.m. that's when the clouds appear, when the rain begins. So we've got a good few hours before that should happen. We've had a mosque, we've had a Hindi temple, and now we have a Buddhist temple. All within 50 meters of each other. This is the building of the Hokkien Association, who were formed in 1862 to look after the immigrants from the Fujian district of China. And in 1928 this was built and became its headquarters, and it still looks after its members today. Persatuan Hokkien. Let's see if I can go in without getting shouted at. Wow, it's got a stage and everything. This was built by the British in 1893 as part of the war compensation, and it became the residence of the main officer of the surrounding districts, and has been to this day. So on the road that started with the oldest mosque in Taiping and then took us to the Hindi temple, the Buddha temple, the Chinese Association, at the bottom of this road we have another mosque. This is not on the Heritage Trail. This one looks fairly recent. Quite a modern mosque. Oh, at the top, the oldest one. No. Yeah. I've just walked down from there. So there's the mosque, then Hindi, then Buddhist, and then another mosque. So
1897.
1897, the one up top, yeah. Now there's something here which is also not on the heritage trail, but it's bloody lovely. Now I can't get to a decent spot to get a photo of it. Maybe if I go around the bend. It's just a weird thing. What an absolutely wonderful building. Taiping is not a pedestrian friendly city. There's literally hardly any pedestrian crossings, so you've just got to basically go for it when you can. Even the main roads leading into malls and, you know, popular places of interest, there's no lights. In a lot of places there's not even any bloody pavement. I thought this was the next stop, this Hindu temple, but it's not. The next one's further on. So again, on this street we start off with the Hindu temple, and then right, okay, so yeah, this is the next one. It's a Sikh temple. I do believe it's the only one in Taiping. Gurdwara. This is actually on the first floor, the ground floor. Looks like a canteen or something. And to be honest, this one isn't as decorated as you'd expect to find in a Buddhist temple or Hindu temple or a church. Very basic. That Sikh temple is another one of Taiping's first. It's the first Gurdwara in the whole of Malaysia. And this is another one of Taiping's firsts. The first ever railway station in Malaysia. Now, not much of it is left, as you can see. It's pretty much just been turned into cafes and stuff now. Although this is still here. Part of the grounds of the King Edward VII, I think, or was it King George? I can't remember. We have this building here, which looks like some kind of domes, and it's called the Sheffield Hostel, 1928. That's unusual to me because I'm actually from Sheffield. I think it's named after a guy, a Mr. Sheffield, rather than my actual city. I'm looking for an old abandoned Victorian house. Now Google Maps, because it is actually on Google, tried to take me down a road that no longer exists. So I've had to come a different way, but I can't see any way of actually getting in. I don't know if this is a park or if it's private property. Well, I definitely don't want to tread in that sludgy old manky water. Right, I'm in. And I think it's right here. It is. Wow. It's still here. And noises. Is there someone in? Monkeys. Wonder what the history of this place is. Looks like at some point it would have been a big grand house. Look at this. This would have been like a terrace. I don't think there's any stairs anymore. I would imagine that somebody of importance or wealth used to live here because it's a big place and it's right in the middle of the park. We're back on the heritage trail now. This is St. George's School, which was built in 1915, originally of timber. Wow. I'm not sure if it's still a school this sign up here, celebrating 100 years, a glorious past and a vibrant future. There are a few tourists over here. I'm not sure if you can go in or whether there's just some information. Well, let's just have a wander. The security guy seemed happy enough with me walking in, so let's take a closer look at St George's School. You can go in. Didn't do this last time. Wow, so this is the canteen, and there's a sign here what it talks about the free breakfast scheme to provide free breakfast to the poor, needy pupils. Imagine actually having that on a sign in an English school. Poor, needy pupils, queue here. I've just been speaking to an elderly American woman whose husband actually came to this school. He was here when he was 10 and he passed away recently in the last year. So she's on a trip just to kind of trace his history. She's been to the old fabric shop that his family used to own. Last time I came here we took a photo from outside and that's it. Didn't know you could come in and explore. As you can see, it's still a school. Not exactly sure where the children are. Maybe it's a school holiday. But it's crazy that it's a school. Anyone can wander in. Maybe there's only certain days when the children aren't here where tourists can come and explore this historic school, and I just timed it right. Such an interesting historic place, this city. There's so much to explore. On this heritage trail, not only have we got these old colonial buildings, schools and religious sites of all religions, well not all religions but many religions, but we've also got the lake gardens to come. We've got a war cemetery, we've got a Burmese outdoor pool or something, all within this city that barely gets any tourists. Crazy. From one school to another. King Edward VII School, which was built in 1883 and was actually called Central School, and then was relocated here and renamed King Edward VII after the coronation of King Edward VII in London. The pupils at this school were called Tigers, and just here there's the school motto: once a tiger, always a tiger. And again, I think it is still a school, or is it actually? I don't know, with all this kind of tape going around it, maybe not. Wow, what a building. When you're entering these places, there's security, there's a security cabin on the entrance, and you always expect them to stop you from coming in, but they don't. And with lots of it, look, this is still a school. There are chairs on desks, and the gates are open to this one. These are still classrooms that are open. Wow, so we have labels for the classrooms. We have brilliant in there, diligent here. What's this one? These guys are brilliant as well. Here we are, a Malaysian classroom. So if I was teaching in this school, this would be my desk and my whiteboard. No interactive whiteboards, no sign of any computers. They keep it old school in the old King Edward VII school. They're very proud of their country as well. Malaysian flags everywhere. It's amazing. I was expecting, you know, to walk into the classrooms and then to be found and told to bugger off. But no one is. There's even arrows telling you which way to go. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm going to get totally shouted at. I'm now on the first floor. Look at this, program planner. MS Office. MS Word, PowerPoint, Publisher and Excel. Bloody hell. So this one's locked up. Oh no, it's not. Wow, let me look at this. This is the computer room. Some of these have seen better days. Well, this takes me back. Can you imagine this in England? On the wall behind the teacher's desk, there's like a progress chart with all the kids' photos on there. Talk about safeguarding. Bloody hell. Not sure whether this old building is actually being used anymore. And they're just using this building that was built in 1987 at the back. Now the gates are locked. Maybe I wasn't supposed to be in there at all. This guy just never saw me. Hey. Are your children on holiday?
You not to request me and report.
Well, I actually did get shouted at by the security guy. I came out and I asked him if the kids were on holiday, and he's like, "You not report to me. You go inside and walk around, and you didn't tell me." I'm like, well, I walked past you, mate. If you didn't see me, you're not much of a bloody security guard, are you? Just to know. Well, this rest house, which was the governor's residence, was built in 1884, I think. It was an important building when the trains used to come through here. And it's the first rest house in Malaysia, another first for Taiping. Oh, we have some of Taiping's colourful history here. This is part of the old train line, the very first train line in Malaysia, and one of the old carriages that run on it. We've also got an old railway bridge coming over the top, and even an old English telephone box. This railway bridge was built in the early 1900s, and there were only 2 of them left standing in the whole of Malaysia. This is not one of the earliest trains. This was built in 1971. Showing off my vast train knowledge there. I've just walked off the Heritage Trail to the nearest 7-Eleven, which turned out to be the one that's attached to the big mall where I came earlier to do some shopping. And rather than get a drink, I thought, there's a fast food place downstairs. It's a bit like a Malaysian McDonald's, I guess. It's called Merry-Ground. And I walked past it yesterday and saw the big fish and chips. So I thought, do you know what? I'm feeling hungry. I've only had a bit of satay. So I'll go and try some Malaysian fast food fish and chips. The fish and chips were surprisingly edible. And now I've got a decision to make, because there's still a lot more of the trail to do. I'm not going to get it all done in one day, but I would like to get a little bit more of it done. But according to the weather forecast, right now there's a 100% chance of rain. And as we can see, it's certainly looking that way. So do I sack it off, or do I try and get a little bit more done? I thought I was going to go and do some more. Walk past my hostel about 2 minutes, and it's just started. So I think that might be the end of today's exploration. We'll pick it up again tomorrow, where we'll go to the lake gardens, the Burmese pool, the war cemetery, the prison, the museum. Still a lot to fit into one day. It's a shame that you have to get everything done by 3 o'clock in Taiping because of the bloody rain. But there you go. There's 3 big hawker stalls. Well, the problem is I don't know what any of the dishes are. There's some lovely looking pork and stuff there. Pat Inchy cabin. What's Inchy? Maybe I should just get a small one of them and see how we get on. Look at these places just come alive in the evening. It's not tourists here at all. This is just local food for local people. Well, I found a place that they char siu and crispy pork, except they don't do crispy pork anymore, so they've just got char siu. So I've gone for some char siu and some roasted chicken, and it comes to, I think she said $7.50, which is pretty good. Well, I was just trying to sort the money out, and it comes to $7.50 apparently, and I have a 10, and then I've just been asked if I want a drink. I mean, you have to have a drink, and the drink's $2.50. So it comes to exactly 10, but I've got to pay 2 people. So whoever comes first to sort me out with change. £2 for pork, chicken, rice and a drink. And of course they both came at exactly the same time. So, and I just gave them 10 and said sort it out. Anyway, this looks pretty good to be honest. Look at this. Nice big plate of rice, and we've got the roast chicken, char siu, and we've even got some Chinese, is that Chinese sausage or no, I think it's all char siu. And some broth, which I wasn't expecting. All that, £2. It's delicious. Thank you. Was that always this one? This one I had from when? Yeah, okay. That's it's very nice, thank you. I can't believe I just went up to the wrong woman and told her that the food was delicious. I'm such an idiot. This is what the guy in Georgetown needed, a big long one like this. So that little thing he was cooking on. Pork satay, wow. Lamb satay. Fish, pork intestines. I think I might have to come back to get some of these tomorrow. Crispy mash, smiley faces. We do Korean chicken here, so 3 pieces for 14 ringgit, so it's about £1 each. This is my hostel over here, Sojo Beds and Cafe. It's a bloody lovely hostel to be honest, and it's the cheapest one on booking.com. It's really nice, really comfortable, everything works, and the people that run it are lovely. Now I always come out and turn that way. I say always, I've only been here one day, but generally this is like kind of where the city centre is. You've got the clock tower down there, and yeah, it's all kind of, that's where it's all kind of busy. But literally 2 doors up you've got this Chio restaurant which does all kinds of like kind of Korean and Western food, and as I walked past earlier on, they do coffee and everything. I was looking all over for a coffee today, proper coffee as well, Americano. The one I got was one of the sweet white coffees that are very popular in Malaysia. So that's going to be my first stop tomorrow. And we've got this Joy Cafe here. We've got Bread Man Cake House Bakery. I was looking all over for a bloody bakery today. I could spend more time here. I'm so glad that I didn't decide to skip Taiping. I've had a fantastic day today. I've loved it today, and tomorrow I think it's going to be even better, because some of the things I'm going to go and look at tomorrow are just going to be beautiful. Hopefully the rain holds out until the afternoon, but it's an incredible light. I don't know if the GoPro is picking it up, probably not, but the light's just amazing. It's like kind of post and pre-storm light. It's just beautiful, and the sunset over here, I wish there was somewhere where I could go and watch that, because it looks absolutely beautiful. Well done, Taiping. Well bloody done.